Hi, good morning, and it's a quick channel update. I haven't done one for a while, and I've been just pottering away. It's been a bit warm up here recently, so it's a bit uncomfortable painting, but I'm still cracking on with the Spanish Napoleonics, and this next unit, which will be the 2nd battalion I painted up, represents the 3rd battalion of the regiment. Yes, it's nice to paint nice colourful uniforms after all those North Vietnamese, but yes, enjoying it. Now on to more serious stuff. Good lad, community member, veteran community member, Paul Beccas, is not very well, and thanks to Leon, who's been, I think he's been in contact with him. It appears that he's out of hospital and recovering, and knowing the Aussie spirit, I'm sure he'll come through, and one day we'll see him up at Salute in London again. I met him only briefly, where I think our conversation was all about British roundabouts or something like that. It was typical. So get well, Paul, and a lot of blokes here in the community are thinking about you. Now, probably a couple of months ago, I put out a call in one of my videos that I was thinking about swapping my Viking army, which I built up a few years ago. Quite a large, quite well painted army. Not, you know, it wasn't a badly painted army, and I was asking anybody out there if they wanted to swap for some Confederates, ACW Confederates, and the swap went ahead a couple of weeks ago with a guy, Steve, from up north, up in Sunderland, and well, when you swap figures, you're full of trepidation. You're thinking, oh, what am I going to get in return? And I must admit, I was very pleasantly surprised. So what I'll do is I'll show you what came through in a big box. Starting over on the left, it's a couple of units of cavalry and dismounted cavalry, and quite a few of these figures here are metals, and out the back are periplastics, and as you can see, they're all very nicely painted and based. Moving along, first of the infantry. Now I think Stephen had his organised in units of 5 bases, and so my units are quite a lot larger, so I started to remove a lot of flags and replace those with spare figures. And so here I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 units of Confederates then, there, all periplastics, and as you can see, once again, very nicely painted. Moving along, there's more there. Again, I removed a lot of the flags and mixed the units up. I was going to, my first I thought before seeing these figures where I was going to rebase all of it and bring them into my own size basing and my own method of basing, but they're so good that a little work needs to be done. Now, the size of these units here are slightly longer than what I use, or what we use down at my club, only by about 10 mils. It's not an issue. They're not as tightly packed on the bases, but then again, with the Civil War armies, they were more of a looser formation, so I can get away with that. I think once on the battlefield, there will be no issue whatsoever. Over there, we've got artillery, a couple of units of Zouaves. Now, I assume that these are very early war Zouaves, and the Confederate army, those uniforms quickly wore out. So, for early war battles, we can use those. Tempting to change the flags over and fill them as Union, but for now I'll leave it as is. And there's 8 guns at the back, all metal. And Stephen's collection featured commanders on square bases, and you may have known, you may have seen my armies. I prefer round bases, so I've just, hang on, let's do this properly. Move that round there, and I broke a few, removed a few figures from the bases, and finished these yesterday. And again, very nice. And it's with spare figures, you got the opportunity just to make up some command stands, which you need in black powder. And the last one there. There you go. So put these up the front. And I'm very, very happy about that. So thank you, Stephen. And I hope you're happy with the Vikings. Oops, the lighting's all over the shop. So I'll leave it there, and yes, that's a good swap. Thanks for watching.